It's just past 6 o'clock on Saturday the 1st of October, and welcome to our Saturday evening news programme, coming to you live from the heart of Wyke Regis, from Wyke Regis TV. And in the news this week, a joint fire investigation between Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue and Dorset Police has concluded following a house fire in Weymouth earlier this week. In the early hours of Tuesday the 27th of September, firefighters from Weymouth and Portland were called to Devon Road, Westham. On arrival, they found a well-developed fire on the ground floor of the property, and 6 breathing apparatus and 3 hose reels were used to extinguish the fire. One female occupant was rescued from the building, although firefighters and paramedics worked hard to save her life. Sadly, she died at the scene. Station manager Mark Downing, the fire investigation officer, said, "Following a thorough joint investigation, we believe the fire was caused accidentally, the most likely cause being the involvement of smoking materials within the property. Using smoking materials, candles and other naked flames at home can be extremely dangerous. Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue continue to ask residents to ensure they put smoking materials and candles out completely before leaving them unattended." Firefighters that attended the incident will return to the area next week. They'll be on hand to reassure residents and offer safe and well advice. Station manager Danny said, "Working smoke alarms in any home will give you early warning of a fire. If you hear a smoke alarm activating, please investigate and call 999 if you see signs of fire." Now, you can apply for a safe and well check from Dorset and Wilts Fire and Rescue if you go to their website at www.dwfire.org.uk/safe-and-well-visits, or call them free on 0800 038 2323. That's 0800 038 2323. And these days the fire and rescue services are doing a lot of work to actually promote fire safety, so hopefully they don't need to go out and fight awful fires where people's lives are at risk. So do contact them for advice if you are concerned about fire safety in your home or about smoke detectors or anything. Now, patients have praised the level of care experienced at Dorset County Hospital. The latest inpatient survey carried out by the Picker Institute on behalf of the Care Quality Commission captured the views and experience of 570 patients admitted to Dorset County Hospital in November 2021. The results revealed that 82% of patients rated their experience as a 7 out of 10 or more, 99% felt treated with respect and dignity, and 98% had confidence and trust in the staff. Patients particularly highlighted how they were able to keep in touch with family and friends throughout the COVID-19 restrictions, the quality of the food, and how long they had to wait for admissions. Areas where suggested improvements can be made included giving further privacy when discussing conditions and treatment, further explanation on how patients might feel after their procedure, and who to contact when being discharged, and not preventing patients from sleeping at night. Chief Nursing Officer at Dorset County Hospital, Nikki Lucy, said, "The survey was conducted at a time of continued pressure on our staff, so it is fantastic to see such positive feedback from our patients. This reflects the tremendous efforts and dedication of our staff across the organisation to continue to provide outstanding care. Patient feedback is incredibly important in helping us to continue to shape and improve the care and experience we provide our patients, and will be taking steps to address the areas where improvements are needed." So there we go, that's that one. Now, number 2, applications have opened for Weymouth Hospice Care's Overseas Challenge 2023. Now, we have covered the Overseas Challenges in previous years before. Participants are being sought for an incredible trek along the path of the ancients in Greece to raise valuable funds for the Dorset charity next October. That's October 2023. Weymouth Hospice Care, which provides specialist care to people living in Dorset with a life-limiting illness and for their loved ones, first held an overseas challenge in 2013 with fundraising trips to the Sahara Desert, Great Wall of China, Nepal, Iceland and the Canadian Rockies and more. Elaine Harmon from Weymouth's fundraising team is encouraging local people to find out more and to sign up. She said, "It's going to be an amazing experience for everyone taking part. We'll be immersing ourselves in the beauty and mythology of the country as we trek through a variety of landscapes, including forests and mountains. Our experienced team will support you throughout your training and fundraising journey, helping you to achieve your goals. Participants will travel along the historic trail of the worshippers of Pan as they pilgrimage to the temples of Delph and the shrines of the Corician Grotton before attempting to summit Geronderochovis." I've probably got that totally wrong, but it's a long name beginning with Geronde. A registration fee of £370 is payable on booking, and there is an achievable fundraising target of £2,500 for participants to raise. The trek will take place on the 5th to the 9th of October 2023. Now, for more information, if you're interested, or to sign up if you've already decided, visit www.weldmarhospicecare.org/Greece. That's www.weldmarhospicecare.org/Greece. So they're very, very popular. I know I've seen things on the Sahara trek before that we've covered on this programme. So if you like a trek in a foreign country and to raise funds at the same time, do look at that. Now, work has begun at Dorset Council on setting the budget for the next financial year. That's the 2023-24 year. A report is to be considered at Cabinet meeting on this week, and it shows that Dorset Council is currently facing a £29 million budget gap next financial year. All councils are required by law to set a balanced budget with expenditure balancing by income. So work will need to take place over the coming months to close this gap. There are three main variables which are affecting the council's finances at the current time, and these are things that the council has little or no control over. So one of those is inflation. Dorset Council, like many households and businesses, is facing the challenge of inflation. Costs are increasing at an unprecedented rate, affecting many services that the council provides. For example, rising fuel costs are impacting on transport services, while capital costs for roadworks and new buildings are affected by infrastructure price rises. The second one's employee pay awards. The nationally agreed pay offer for next year alone is anticipated to cost the council an additional £6 million. And adult social care being the third area. Demand continues to grow due to the ageing population, and new government reforms coming in over next year will cost significant sums to implement. The report explains to the council that Dorset Council faces a high level of uncertainty over its budget position at this point in the year. It is not known what will happen with inflation over the coming months, so budget setting has to be based on sensible forecasts, and the government financial settlement to councils will not be announced until the end of the year. Now, turning to Envy Freedom, an organisation we've mentioned many times on this programme. Friends of Envy Freedom welcomed Dorset's High Sheriff, Sybil Fine-King, to the charity's boat at North Quay, Weymouth on Thursday this week. The High Sheriff, Sybil Fine-King, has a role as the King's representative to the legal system locally. The High Sheriff's theme during her Shrevel year is to combine the beauty of Dorset, the healing power of nature, and her history in the health service. Now, Dirk Aldous, who's the chairman of the Friends of Envy Freedom, said, "Our charity is absolutely delighted that the High Sheriff has managed to find time in a very busy diary to come along and see firsthand how our voluntary crews and new twin-engined motor catamaran can bring joy, empowerment and real health benefit to those living with disability in the Weymouth and often much further afield areas." Now, Envy Freedom's group of volunteers based in Weymouth were honoured last year with the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, the highest award a voluntary group can receive in the UK. The group have provided access to the sea for those people living with disability since 1984, and in 2021, last year, took delivery of their fourth boat, a twin-engine motor catamaran, which provides sea trips along the Jurassic Coast, Portland Harbour and Weymouth Bay. And if you haven't been out on Envy Freedom and you are living with disability, I certainly suggest you contact them early next year to book a slot, because this year they have been absolutely full across the whole season, and it's a great day out, particularly where we've got dolphins and things out in the bay, because they often come to see the boat. Now, Weymouth and Portland's Lions Club, together with Purbeck Motocross, are getting geared up to stage the annual beach motocross event in Weymouth. The high-flying extravaganza over humps and bumps will be held in Weymouth Beach, on Weymouth Beach on Sunday, October the 9th, with bikes entering the sands from 12 noon for practice laps. There will also be demonstrations on Saturday the 8th of October from 3 p.m. There will be 3 classes of riders taking part this year: expert, senior and junior, with each class having 2 races on the day. A few professional riders are also expected to take part. The beach motocross was first staged in 1984 and has been run every year since, except in 2009 when the medical company didn't turn up at the last minute, and in 2020 due to the COVID pandemic. Weymouth and Portland Lions Club and Purbeck Motocross Club are delighted this year that they will be supported as the main sponsor by We Are Weymouth, helping them to fund and organise the event. Although the event is free to watch, Weymouth and Portland Lions Club will be encouraging people who attend to make charitable donations. Of course, that's what it's all about. Lions Club do support lots and lots of local organisations and events and charities. Programmes will be available on the day, priced £3 each, and can be purchased from any of the Lion stores and members situated along the esplanade. Local Lion, Ryan Hope, who's the events manager at Weymouth and Portland Lions Club, said, "This is an opportunity for us all as a club to raise money for our charity fund, which we can then use for local causes throughout the year. There will also be several commercial and charity stalls along the esplanade with plenty of tasty street food vendors." They've asked to note that the pavilion car park is closed to visitors, and visitors are advised to use other car parks or alternative methods of travel to the event. Restrictions are also in place on Weymouth Beach on Saturday the 8th of October to Sunday the 9th to allow the construction of the course and racing on the beach. The beach will reopen once the event is finished and the beach has been reinstated. Access to the remainder of the beach remains unaffected and is available to be used for permitted activities, including the exercising of dogs. If a work colleague that you know had cancer, how would you respond? This scenario is fast becoming a reality, as by 2030 it is estimated that 1.5 million people of working age will be living with cancer. The impact that a cancer diagnosis can have on an individual's mental health is significant, yet 85% of employees with a cancer diagnosis want to carry on working. Knowing how to conduct a difficult conversation about cancer and support those with cancer in the workplace is at the heart of a new training programme called the Cancer Support Ambassador course. It's introduced by cancer wellbeing experts at Cancer Support UK. Developed by Cancer Support UK specifically to give individuals in an organisation the confidence and skill to support colleagues facing cancer, the Cancer Support Ambassador training provides a high-level introduction to cancer and cancer treatments. The half-day course covers the physical and emotional side effects of both cancer and cancer treatments. Most importantly, it contains tools and strategies that equip workplace cancer support ambassadors with the necessary skills and principles to have supportive conversations with individuals experiencing emotional turmoil due to or caused by the effects of cancer. The training also provides personal wellbeing and resilience guidance, which participants can make use of after difficult conversations. Cancer Support UK will implement bespoke Cancer Support Ambassador training schemes for organisations on request as well. Now, the contact for this is a lady called Olivia Gray. She's Head of Learning and Development at Cancer Support UK. You can call her on 0776 363 0954. That's 07763 630954, or email her at olivia@cancersupportuk.org. Now, there are some dates already published for some training sessions. Tuesday the 18th of October, 1 p.m. to 4, and Tuesday the 15th of November, 10 a.m. to 1. And what they will cover are strategies to manage structured supportive conversations, confidence to support somebody who has cancer, understanding the difference between empathy and sympathy, an understanding of the change process that people go through when receiving a diagnosis and or treatment, learning the skill of high-level listening and how to ask the right questions, using the right language, self-care tips, and also helps address the issues of isolation in the workplace that is often caused by cancer. So say, if you want to get involved with that training or it would be useful for your workplace, contact Olivia at cancersupportuk.org. Very useful training there for organisations who often have to support people who have had a diagnosis and want to continue to work, because obviously carrying on and stability is very important in those times. Now, Dorset Council has installed a host of energy-saving measures at libraries across Dorset in a bid to cut down on carbon emissions and energy costs. Over the past 6 months, the Council has installed a wide range of energy efficiency and renewable energy measures at 15 library sites in the Council area. The measures that range from high-efficiency LED lighting to advanced building management systems form part of the Council's response to the climate and ecological emergency, and they're expected to save over £40,000 a year in electricity and gas costs and reduced annual energy use by more than 275,000 kilowatt hours, which is over a quarter of the energy used last year across those 15 sites. The work, which will make the libraries more efficient and reduce their reliance on fossil fuels, has been funded by the Public Sector Decarbonisation Scheme, a scheme set up by the government and delivered by Salix to reduce the emissions of publicly owned buildings across the UK. Now, Dorset Council's Memorial Corner project to the front of County Hall in Dorchester is now complete. The Memorial Corner, which includes the existing war memorial area, has been completely renovated and extended to include 9 new panels in memory of frontline workers who lost their lives during the COVID-19 pandemic. The project was initiated by Dorset Council Chairman, Councillor Val Pothecary, and was commissioned to improve the existing war memorial area at County Hall and to include a special COVID memorial space in the same location. The work includes a new and accessible paved seating area and refurbished walls, steps and planters. The main construction work started earlier this summer and has now been completed. The majority of the construction works were carried out by the Council's Highways team. The new COVID memorial panels were designed by local Portland artist Ellie Newbury, and the whole area was designed by their in-house landscaping architects and coordinated by Bridget Betts from the Environment Advice team. The new memorial is part of a project to renovate and improve the existing war memorial area, which will now be known as the Memorial Corner. Now turning to Dorset Police. Officers investigating a burglary near Dorchester are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward. Between approximately 2:25am and 3am on Monday the 26th of September, 3 people entered the clubhouse and changing rooms of Puddletown Rugby Football Club in Piddlehinton. A quantity of cash was stolen as well as a bottle of alcohol. Damage was caused to the buildings and a pipe was removed which caused flooding. Police Constable Amir Isabel Bowditch of Dorset Police said this burglary has had a significant impact on our local business and we're doing all we can to identify those responsible. Also, with Dorset Police, officers are renewing their appeal for information and issuing images of a man they'd like to identify following an assault on a farmer in a field near Wool. At approximately 5:30pm on Tuesday the 6th of September, a farmer entered a field in a vehicle near East Burton Road and saw a dog chasing after sheep. It is reported that the male dog owner approached the farmer and assaulted him. When the offender let go, the victim told the man to get his dog under control. The man took the keys of the victim's vehicle and continued to assault him before eventually stopping and leaving in the direction of Wool Bridge. Now, lots of people pass through this area. So, Police Constable Michael Wells of Dorset County Local Policing Area said, our inquiries are continuing to this incident to identify the man involved, and the picture is up on the screen. I'm now in a position to issue an image of the man I would like to identify and would ask anyone who recognises him to please get in touch. Now, if you've got any information on either of those incidents, the theft at the Rugby Football Club, or you know anything of that incident, or you recognise the person in the picture, do get in touch with Dorset Police on 101 or if you'd like to do it anonymously through Crime Stoppers Charity on 0800 555 111. Now, the NHS app, now some of you might have this on your telephone, has now recorded more than 30 million people signed up, and almost 450,000 new organ donation decisions have been registered via the app. People are being encouraged to use the NHS app as an easy way to register their decision during Organ Donation Week, which you remember we mentioned last week and runs through until tomorrow, as more than 6,500 patients are actively waiting for a transplant across the UK. The total number of organ donation decisions registered for the first time through the app has increased by 69% in a year, with a rise from 265,000 last September to 448,000 in August this year. Since September 2021, 183,000 new organ donation decisions have been registered via the app. Overall, organ donation preferences have been managed 3.7 million times through the app. Massive numbers there. Don't forget, it is Organ Donation Week. And if you'd like to make that decision and register your choice in terms of organ donation, you can do that through the NHS app. Now, an autumn drive to boost our immunity against COVID-19 is underway, with a great initial take-up in Dorset as thousands of eligible people receive their booster jab at a vaccination site near them. Since the autumn booster programme kicked off at the start of September, 22,000 people have received their jab, including some of our most at-risk residents who are housebound or live in a care home. Nearly everyone in Dorset has a vaccination site within 20 miles of where they live, with skilled vaccination teams from across the NHS working together to administer the life-saving vaccine. Sites include vaccination centres, community pharmacies and GP practices. In Dorset, 450,000 people are eligible for the autumn booster, and they include residents in care homes for older people and care home staff, frontline health and social care workers, all adults aged over 50 years and over, people aged between 5 and 49 years in a clinically at-risk group, people aged between 5 and 49 who are in a household and in contact with people who are immunosuppressed, and people aged 16 to 49 who are carers. This winter will be the first time that we see the real effects of both COVID and flu in full circulation as we go about life as normal. For everyone, particularly those most susceptible to serious illness, getting the vaccination for both viruses will help boost immunity during those colder months. Now, some of the sites will offer that you can have both jabs at the same time. That's the flu and the COVID-19, to save you travelling twice. And if you take up this offer but you've ordered a flu jab somewhere else, please remember to cancel that so somebody else can take your slot. Information on where you can get your COVID-19 jab and how you can book it is available on the COVID-19 vaccination web pages of Dorset Healthcare. So if you search for Dorset Healthcare COVID-19 vaccinations on Google, that will pop right up for you and give you all the information that you need. Now, Dorset Council has secured £2.5 million in funding from the Environment Agency to stabilise, protect and repair the historic cob in Wyke Regis. I'm sure most of our viewers have actually visited Wyke Regis and walked on the cob there, very iconic local place. This will be the fifth and final phase of their long-term environmental improvement strategy in the seaside town. The overall cost of the project is expected to be around £3 million, with the rest of the money coming from Dorset Council. The famous harbour and breakwater protect the Lyme Bay area from coastal erosion and flooding. However, structural investigations have shown significant signs of sea floor erosion, which is gradually destabilising the Grade 1 listed cob. The erosion is so significant that without intervention the cob would no longer work as a breakwater by 2044. This would put over 100 properties at risk of flooding and coastal erosion. Phase 5, which could start in summer 2024, is expected to finish the following year and includes proposals for construction of a sheet pile and concrete toe wall and a tension pile to anchor the harbour walls. The proposed summer start is to try and isolate the outer wall works in periods when the sea and climate is generally calmer, with an aim to minimise public and business disruption. Plans will also include the resurfacing of part of the Cobbs Walkway and Fish Landing Quay, which is seen to be in poor condition and can restrict access for the less abled, along with improving the utility services. And finally, in our headlines tonight, 4 organisations providing help and support to the town's residents have been awarded grants totalling just under £10,000 from Weymouth Town Council. Steps Club for Young People, Citizens Advice Central Dorset, Weymouth Museum and Life Education Wessex and Thames Valley have all had their applications approved at the Council's Finance and Governance Committee meeting this week. Steps will use the grant of £2,368 towards running a healthy lifestyle project for up to 70 young people. The pilot scheme will provide sports and activities, arts and educational sessions on diet, online safety, mental health issues and how to build resilience, and valuable one-to-one support sessions. £2,998 was awarded to Citizens Advice Central Dorset towards a 6-month project looking at the cost of living crisis. The organisation will highlight help that is available to residents in the most deprived areas of Weymouth through face-to-face and online sessions, giving people the tools to maximise their income, reduce their debts and seek help to reduce the impact of the crisis. Weymouth Museum was awarded £2,500 to help with their community engagement work, extending their offer to families in Weymouth, especially during the school holidays. Representatives from the museum said they felt this work would be beneficial in developing people's mental health as well as being educational. Life Education Wessex and Thames Valley secured £2,115 towards the cost of providing its Helping Children Make Healthy Choices programme. This will see educators providing health, emotional wellbeing and drug education sessions to school children at St Nicholas and St Lawrence, Wyke Regis Federation, both at the infants and juniors, and at Holy Trinity Primary. So that's excellent news there for those charities, and wonderful support from Weymouth Town Council, who I have to say since their inception have done so much to support local events, organisations and charities, and we thank them for that. So that's the end of tonight's headlines. Now moving on to our sort of a longer features section, we've just had Big Green Week and lots of things happened here in Wyke Regis, and now carrying on from that, the wildlife trusts across the UK are asking us to keep up the good work and help them this autumn, as they're asking you to lace up your walking boots and fundraise for wildlife. From the 24th to the 30th of October, they are asking everyone to walk 30 kilometres and raise vital funds for the country's precious wildlife. So what's it all about? It's called Big Wild Walk for Nature and Climate, or Big Wild Walk for short. At the Wildlife Trust, they want to see at least 30% of our land and sea protected and connected for nature by 2030. We all know how important this is to help tackle the climate and nature crisis, but Wildlife Trust need your help to make it happen. So strap up your walking boots and join them this month for Big Wild Walk, their national fundraising event. Basically what you have to do is walk 30 kilometres between Monday the 24th of October to Sunday the 30th of October. You can walk it in 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, or just set your own goal entirely. You can walk it, run it, crawl it, cartwheel it, whatever, to do your 30 kilometres. So let's hear a little bit about the Big Wild Walk from the Wildlife Trust. There we go. And they say even if you're walking it with little ones, you can try their hedgehog walk. That's particularly for tiny tots. That's 3 kilometres across the week, the same distance as a hedgehog can walk in one night apparently. So you complete it as an individual or part of a team, or if you're in a school or community group, you can do it together through your school or community group. If you want to get involved, you can download packs online, or just find out more information at www.wildlifetrust.org/Big Wild Walk. Nice and easy to remember, Big Wild Walk. Now, moving on. Many of us will be familiar with our local NHS, whether it's Dorset Hospital, the ambulance service, or our local GP practice. But many of you may not be aware that we still have a hospital at Westhaven in Weymouth that supports a lot of people, either transitioning on the way home from the hospital after they've been ill or had surgery, or those from our community who need more support that they can't get at home. Westhaven also serves as a hub for many community services. Now, they recently had a recruitment open day to share all the different opportunities for careers in the local hospital, from nurses, support workers, care staff, and even for those who don't want to follow an academic route into nursing. They have been telling people about the opportunity for becoming an apprentice in the NHS. So we're now going to hear from some of those staff who work at Westhaven. You might recognise some of their faces, about their roles, why they like working there, and some of those opportunities that are available for those who might be considering a career in the NHS.
We're having an open day for staff recruitment for both registered and healthcare assistants, as well as domestic staff and therapy staff. We give lots of opportunities to staff members. We encourage staff to reach their full potential through apprenticeship programmes and encourage staff to learn at a pace that they want to, and they hopefully can progress their career.
We all know each other. We're not just numbers for the actual trust. So you know, the managers can see your determination. They can see your if you're willing to learn and to improve, they can definitely support you with that.
We do apprenticeship programmes for our registered nurses, also for associate nurses and for advanced care practitioners. We're also looking for healthcare assistants who actually just want to be friendly, caring towards patients and take pride in the work that they do to the benefit of our patients.
You can go from doing domestic work to doing NA work and then progressing on up the line. They give you opportunities here, which I think is a good thing, because you can't get bored because there's always something to do.
We work with the hub, which is the community teams, so we work quite closely with them, so a lot of our patients come directly from the community, and there are opportunities to get experiences in other areas other than ward work if that's the direction you want to take.
Teamwork is what keeps me here. Feeling supported throughout my learning is something that has been happening since I started. Teamwork, that's the main thing for me. Is everybody's very friendly and approachable, you know, from the local managers to the higher up managers.
You've got a lovely bay, you've got a beautiful harbour, and then you've got Portland as well, and it's so scenic. And it's just a fantastic place to be, really. I couldn't say it any other way, really.
The best thing about working at Westhaven Hospital is the friendly team that we have here.
The best thing about working in Westhaven Hospital is the team.
The best thing at working at Westhaven Hospital is that the staff are absolutely astounding, and they work so hard to make it a better place for everybody.
There we go, that's hearing from the staff at Westhaven Hospital, one of our local hospitals here in Weymouth. And I do remember a few years ago when I was a director in the NHS, I went and spent some time working alongside the staff in Westhaven Hospital, I have to say it was a nice environment then, but that was quite a few years ago. I'm sure the staff have changed, but the environment is still the same, so well done to them. Now, if you're interested in a role in the NHS, you can go along to the NHS Jobs website, or in fact, if you're looking at local opportunities in the NHS, there's also some of them listed on the Indeed jobs vacancies website. So NHS Jobs or Indeed, and you will find lots of opportunities in the NHS locally, including some from West Haven Hospital. I did have a look earlier, and there are some there. So we're now at that time in the programme where we're now going over to Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to Wyke Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week featured the release of Jurassic World Dominion on DVD, Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD. The film is the conclusion of the Jurassic World trilogy and the Jurassic Park saga as a whole. The film stars Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard as the leads of the Jurassic World films, and features the return of Sam Neill, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum from the Jurassic Park films. The film revolves around Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's characters trying to rescue their adopted daughter after she gets kidnapped by a biotech company. I previously reviewed the film back in June, where I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The home video release contains special features such as an extended version of the film as well as a behind-the-scenes documentary. This week marked the release of the anticipated Netflix biographical film Blonde, which is a fictionalized take on the life and career of American actress Marilyn Monroe, and is portrayed in this film by Ana de Armas, who is most notable for her roles in the films Knives Out and No Time to Die. The film is mostly shot in black and white but has sequences of colour. The film has received widespread controversy for being the first Netflix film to receive an NC-17 rating from the Motion Picture Association of America, which translates to a hard R18 rating from the BBFC. The film received this rating for sequences of strong sex, sexual violence and domestic abuse. The film premiered in early September at the Venice Film Festival and has received mixed reviews from critics, with Ana de Armas' portrayal being acclaimed but found the film to be exploitative and dehumanizing. The last few days have seen some big pieces of news announced for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The first was a video statement from Ryan Reynolds officially confirming Deadpool 3 for a September 2024 release, as well as officially revealing in a typical Ryan Reynolds way that Hugh Jackman will also be starring in the film as his fan-favourite character Wolverine. Jackman portrayed the popular character in 20th Century Fox's X-Men film series from 2000 to 2017, which was his breakout role. Jackman originally departed the role in 2017's Logan, which saw the death of the character. However, since the Disney-Fox merger, Jackman has stated that he would return to the character if it involved Deadpool in the MCU. Deadpool 3 arrives in cinemas September 2024. Another big piece of MCU news that came later that same day after the Deadpool announcement was that director Bassam Tariq departed the MCU's reboot of Blade, starring Mahershala Ali, 2 months before filming was due to start. Tariq will remain with the project as an executive producer, but this change in directors was cited as being due to scheduling conflicts brought about by delays during pre-production. Industry insider leaks estimate the new production start date as starting in spring, which will likely mean that the November 2023 release date will be delayed as well. Another breaking news Marvel announcement is that the originally planned series Armor Wars will be redeveloped into a feature film, but remaining with the same lead actor and writer. Another piece of breaking film news is that director Ruben Fleischer, most known for directing the Zombieland films Uncharted and the first Venom film, he will be directing the next Now You See Me movie. Presumably the third one. After the second one was directed by John Chu in 2016. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will preview the home video release of DC's League of Super Pets. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for this week's film review and preview. It's now time in the programme to go over to the Met Office for this week as National Weather Forecast, which this week it comes from Aidan McGivern.
Hello. Following Friday's wet and windy weather, we see blustery showers through the weekend for most places. But the showers moving through quickly and furiously in the northwest. In the south, I think the showers easing into Saturday evening and drier for a time. But towards the end of the night, during the early hours, the clouds thicken towards the southwest and some rain starts to edge in here. Of course, with thickening cloud, 13 Celsius in the southwest, a mild night. But elsewhere, a cool night where we get some clear spells and a bit of shelter from the breeze. Temperatures straying into the single figures. Now, the rain in the southwest is carried in by this sliding weather front, and there's some uncertainty about the north-south position of it. It's just about threatening to bring a wet day to southern coastal counties of England and perhaps South Wales. But because of the uncertainty in its position, small differences in the forecast will lead to big differences in the outcome for Sunday, whether or not it's dry or wet in the south. But it looks most likely at the moment that we will see some spells of rain and some thicker cloud affecting southern counties through the day on Sunday. And there'll be brighter skies the further north you are away from that. Further showers to come for Scotland and Northern Ireland, but they'll be less numerous and less heavy, with less of a breeze compared with Saturday. So for many, northern parts of the country, a drier and brighter day, a bit warmer as well, but it's in the far south where there is that question mark about how much rain we'll see carried along the English Channel. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that and all other aspects of the forecast. You can stay up to date with those updates on social media. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Aidan, for the national weather forecast. And looking at the week ahead locally here in Weymouth, it looks like we have a changeable week with rain showers every other day or so. Not too cold yet though. Temperatures might drop in the evening, but still quite mild during the day. And that wind blowing up occasionally. And so a bit of wind, a bit of rain. Changeable weather this week, but we might get some sunny spells as well, so let's keep our fingers crossed for the week ahead. Now we're turning to our What's On session, and quite a lot coming up at Weymouth Pavilion. 6th of October, Adele, The Journey So Far. 7th to the 8th of October, Weymouth Oktoberfest at Real Ale Festival. 8th of October, and finally Phil Collins Tribute. 10th of October, Classical Ballet at Swan Lake. 11th of October, 60s Gold. Now, the 16th of October, this is one I personally recommend, having met the individual doing this show. It's called The King of Pop, starring Navi. He's a Michael Jackson tribute act. In fact, he is the world's best Michael Jackson tribute act. He actually performed for Jackson himself, and Jackson gave him a standing ovation, and he actually worked as a body double on some big things, so Jackson could actually slide out the back of the hotel. And I've actually met Navi and spoken to him a few years ago. Really nice guy, but really, really good at his tribute to Jackson. He comes with full supporting dancers and band and everything, and it's a really good evening if you fancy that. That's the 16th of October. And then the 21st to the 22nd of October, Weymouth Drama Club presents Around the World in 80 Days. That sounds really interesting as well. Now, the box office online is at weymouthpavilion.com, or if you want to book by telephone, 01305 783 225. Turning to the Nose Fort, 2nd October, tomorrow, Family Sciences Festival. So this is for the inquisitive members of the family. A whole day of exciting interactive activities at the fort. What's going on? Well, they've got the Institute of Physics doing a polarised light demonstration and rocket making in the parade ground. They've got Portland Museum doing stuff about the stuff they found from the Earl of Abergavenny's shipwreck. Wessex Water are having a go at making a water filter. CFAS, that's the sea fisheries people, check out some field microscopes, non-native species, and take part in a fishing game. Litter Free Dorset looking at what happens to stuff that gets flushed down the toilet. That sounds exciting. Weymouth Astronomy, they're looking at their stellarium, whatever stellarium is, something to do with astronomical software. Some fossil fun as well, and arming the fort. You can fire the Victorian cannon and see inside a torpedo. So lots there going on at the Nose Fort tomorrow. Now, we often also mention Arts Reach. They do fantastic work, bringing all sorts of shows all over the county, often in small rural villages, so that people in our rural community have access to the arts. And as I've said to you before, it's always a good opportunity not only to go and see something a little bit different, and actually usually quite fun, but to visit some of our rural areas. Now, we will be talking about their programme and events coming up, but this week I'm going to tell you about Celage Adu, or Salacious. It's Kate Short and Rupert Gillette. Two outstanding cellists and singers joined forces to express their take on the world of jazz standards, Latin, originals and more in a special autumn tour. Now, 2 dates for Dorset. Saturday the 8th of October at Iberton Village Hall near Blandford at 7:30, and Sunday the 9th at Sandford Orcus Village Hall at 7:30. Now, I've just got a short snippet so you know what this is all about. This is Celage Adu, Salacious, Kate Short and Rupert Gillette.
Oh, come and be my guest to tease. Have a glass of wine, please. Put your feet up, chill out, baby. We are family. We are family.
There we go. If you fancy something a little bit different and you like the cello and singing, do pop along to the Arts Reach website, www.artsreach.co.uk, and we'll tell you more what they've got coming up in the months ahead. They do a fantastic programme. They put tons of stuff on, and it's well worth a look. And it is for all the family. They do stuff for the children as well as adults as well. Now turn to other things. Church services in Wyke Regis this week. Regular services at All Saints Church tomorrow at 8 o'clock, communion service. 9:45, the family-friendly cafe church style service. Now, this weekend, they are doing Animal Welfare Week, and you can take a pet with you. So if you've got a pet spider, a pet rabbit, a dog, a cat, a llama, whatever you've got, elephant, if you've got an elephant, you can take it along. 9:45 tomorrow, the service starts. Breakfast is available from just before 9:30, so go and have some tea and toast and what have you, and take your pets with you for a short family-friendly service at All Saints Church tomorrow. 11 o'clock, the service at St Edmunds, which is a communion service. The other thing to mention is our quiz tonight, 7:30, online here on this channel. We go live at 7:15. You're all welcome to join that, family-friendly, it's free. And next week there is a live quiz in the Memorial Hall in Wyke Regis. If you're interested in tickets for that, drop us a email to news@wykeregis.tv and we'll put you in touch with the people selling the tickets. Now, just a short bit on traffic and travel this week. Let me get the right logo up. There we go. Where's the... No, I've got the wrong ones here. What am I doing? There we go. Clicking the wrong buttons. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Traffic and travel. There's a rail strike on again this weekend, unfortunately. So the trains have not been running, other than a very, very restricted service today. And of course, that will knock over till tomorrow, because trains will be in the wrong places and that sort of thing. So very restricted service tomorrow as well. Now I'm going to mention some roadworks. I'm just going to be mentioning the major roadworks. There are road closures in the evenings around Jubilee Close, Radipole Park Drive and King Street while work happens in that area. Diversions are in place. There's traffic lights on the top end of Dorchester Road. Now Ison Lane Bingham is closed for work through to the 12th of October, and Friar Wadden Road is closed until the 16th of October there. So that brings us to the end of another programme this evening. We will be back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Of course, if you've got any events or any news to send us, or anything else you want to share with us, news@wykeregis.tv. We're always pleased to receive things from you. So I hope you have a good week. Hope we do get some decent weather and it's not too cold, and hope that winter cold stays away for just a little bit longer. And I look forward to being back with you 6 o'clock next Saturday. Good night.